Welcome back, Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Remember, you can be part of the show. You can talk to us. I love it when we hear from you. So talk to us on Twitter, channels_sports, Facebook, Channels IF Sports. You can also send us an email to sportstonight@channelstv.com. In 2015, Wellington Jighere traveled to Perth in Australia to beat English players to emerge champion, world Scrabble champion. I mean, the English people will boast about the English language. A Nigerian went to Australia to tell them that, look, you don't just know how intelligent we are in my country. And so from when Wellington became world champion in 2015, Scrabble in Nigeria has been on the rise. Nigeria has gone to different competitions and they've been winning medals for the country. But when the Ministry for Youth and Sports approved sports for the National Sports Festival, Scrabble was missing from the list. Hello, did you hear what I just said about Scrabble? And then the National Sports Festival is coming and no Scrabble. And so players of Scrabble, officials, followers, fans, they say, what is going on? I don't know, because we've been trying to also get the views of the ministry to understand why Scrabble was dropped from the list of sports to be featured at the National Sports Festival. Wellington Jighere is with us in the studio. Wellington, good to have you on Sports Tonight.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
I will do all I can to make you smile.
I actually can't smile right now, but I will attempt to smile with you.
No, you have to smile with me. Yeah. Good to have you on the show. I won't jump into the issue. Let's talk about progress, because just the way out of everything. What progress have we been making with our Scrabble in 2018?
We have made a lot of progress in recent years. Since after winning the World Championship, we have progressed geometrically. We went for the last World Championship last year in Kenya, and we emerged the best country again. And we narrowly missed out of first place by Moses Peter coming in second position.
I remember.
My humble self coming in fourth position. And not only that, we had 4 Nigerians in the top 10 in the world.
4 Nigerians?
Yes. As we speak, in the 100 top rated players in the world, we have 30 Nigerians. And as I speak with you, the only thing I can authoritatively tell you that Nigeria is #1 at is Scrabble. I'm not just speaking because I feel like speaking. It has been corroborated with facts. If you Google international #1s on your phone, we all have smartphones. You will see that the only thing that Nigeria is known at being #1 for is Scrabble.
I'll get you talking.
So if we have a population of 200 million, for example, and for us to be best at this, that means we can actually boast of at least 1% of Nigerians playing Scrabble. That is 2 million people. How can you have a national sports festival and you don't have Scrabble in it?
That question wasn't for me, by the way. So let's get straight into the Ministry for Youth and Sports. But let's just confirm what Wellington said. A research was done by the international #1s, and it said countries are best at what they do worldwide, and we need to know, what they stand for. And under Nigeria, hopefully you're going to see that picture from the. Now look at it right there. I see Chad, LDS Diets Chad. I see Niger, Child Brides. Libya, fat kids. Nigeria.
You can see Togo on happiness.
Yeah, Togo on happiness. What's going on? But look at Nigeria. They say we are known for Scrabble players. Well, is that really true? Not football players?
No, we don't play football as well as we would hope to. Scrabble is the only thing we do well. We've played 13 editions of the African Scrabble Championships. We've won 12 of them. We've won a world championship. We've consistently been in the top 3 rated countries in the world for the past close to 2 decades. And now we are #1. This is the only thing we are #1 at. It even turns out we are not even as nearly fantastically corrupt as we are at playing Scrabble. So how can you have a national sports festival and there's no Scrabble?
I know.
It baffles me.
Let's come back to the studio there. And it's tough. But just in case you want cashews, go to Cote d'Ivoire. That's what I'm saying. You go to Cote d'Ivoire for cashews. Did the ministry, I've heard of anything, the ministry say why Scrabble won't be part of the National Sports Festival?
Well, evidently Scrabble was put amongst the optional sports.
Okay.
And in every sports festival, the host, in this case the FCT, has the prerogative to choose from a list of the optional sports. They are supposed to choose 5 sports from the optional sports. And it just so happens that Scrabble was not among the sports they chose. But the question now is, why would Scrabble have been put in among the optional sports in the first place? Knowing what we have given to this country, we have brought this country to the map, to the global map. We have given a lot of sacrifices to get us here. How come Scrabble was even put amongst the optional sports in the first place? And even if it was put amongst the optional sports, how come we weren't chosen? It baffles me.
I know. That's a world champion in Scrabble right there. So I'm finding it difficult to, even understand what's going on. But what are the events lined up for Scrabble this year before the National Sports Festival?
We have lots and lots of events. This year we have the African Championship coming up much later in the year. We also have the MSI World Championship, now called the Mattel World Championship. We have 2 World Championships in Scrabble, the Westpa World Championship and the Mattel World Championship now. So we have that coming up this year also. So we are supposed to just have a very close year with lots and lots of activities, and which are supposed to be crowned up with the National Sports Festival, which is happening towards the end of the year, I think December to be precise. And it was supposed to be very, very good for us. There are lots of Scrabble players who depend on earnings from Scrabble to make a living. There are people who are employed by their states. There are people who are relying on stipends from their various states to earn a living, to not necessarily earn a living, because the money is actually not very big, but they are managing from
the passion that they have.
Yes. How do you want these people to remain relevant to their states? And some of them are going to be dropped as a result of Scrabble not being in this sports festival. How do you expect them to cope? We are talking about unemployment. We are talking about lots and lots of things. There are people who are taking up jobs of lecturing, teaching Scrabble to kids in schools. In fact, before I came here, I taught Scrabble to schools. So these are things that are ongoing. But if you remove Scrabble from the spotlight, these things die down. And people who are depending on Scrabble to earn a living, coaches everywhere, secretaries in various states, their jobs are on the line as a result of this one singular decision. Like I said earlier on, we can boast of at least 1% of Nigerians playing Scrabble. That amounts to about 2 million Nigerians. Of that 2 million, we can boast of another 1% out of that 1% that plays Scrabble professionally. That amounts to about. So do the maths. So it doesn't add up.
Top players as Wellington, Jighere, Moses, and other players of Scrabble, have you guys reached out to the ministry?
We have been attempting to reach out. You see, there hasn't really been, the way things are in Nigeria, it is very, very difficult to get some of these quarters to change their mind. We have done the best we can. I have done the best that I can. I'm here today now. I will keep making noise because we can't keep quiet about this. And we're hoping that they hear our cries and listen to us and do something about this thing. It's not difficult. Organizing Scrabble is not a difficult thing. It is not rocket science. Just leave the organization to us. We will organize Scrabble by ourselves. Just tell us Scrabble is in the sports festival. Even if the Nigeria Scrabble Federation is not able to do that, I can organize Scrabble at the National Sports Festival level. That is what we can do. So it's not like that we're going to spend a lot of money. We're not football where we need millions or billions to get things done. We can do our own thing. Just give us a level playing ground to do our own thing.
And then keep the attention.
I don't think that isn't too much to ask for.
Yeah. I'm still waiting to hear from you as regards this issue of Scrabble being dropped from the list of sports that will feature at the National Sports Festival, and other subjects that we've been discussing. Wellington Jighere is a top Scrabble player in Nigeria, and it's just putting words out there and expressing displeasure that Scrabble has been dropped. We're still hoping to also get an explanation from the ministry. Let's just understand what's really going on, because from what Wellington is saying, Scrabble has done enough not to be ignored. But do you guys have activities, something? I'm not saying don't cause trouble, don't protest. You doing anything that will make the ministry look and say, oh, let's make a U-turn?
We'll plan. Well, something is in the works because we can't just lay back and watch things happen to us. It's not the Nigerian way. We have to do something. So we are hoping that we'll be able to do one or two. It's not necessarily going to be like a protest, but if that is what it takes to hear our cries, then we might have no option than to resort to that. But we are hoping that it doesn't get to that point. We are hoping that some of the avenues we are exploiting to get those in authorities to listen to us will yield some results. If we can't get the required results through those channels, then we might have no option than to come up with a full-blown protest.
Okay.
But we are really hoping that.
What did the federation say? What did they say to the federation? Or what has the federation communicated?
The federation tells us that they are on top of the matter, but we know fully well that we are not convinced that they are on top of the matter. If we sit back and do nothing, we'll just this will happen to us, and we can't afford for that to happen.
Okay. Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Wellington Jighere is a Scrabble player, former world champion, and of course, a big advocate of Scrabble development in the country. The National Sports Festival was still hoping that it will hold this year. They said it's going to happen in December, right there at the FCT. But Scrabble is not on the list, and that has really put Wellington and his mates down. But they're hoping that the ministry will have a U-turn to turn this around. We have just 2 more minutes. So Wellington, what's your final words? I'm sure the minister might be watching. People that are working in the ministry. The final words for them to understand the story of Scrabble.
Final word is we own Scrabble. Nigeria owns World Scrabble. It is not fair to have a national sports festival and Scrabble is not there. My final word is an appeal to the powers that be, especially the sports ministry, to do whatever they can to make sure Scrabble features in the next national sports festival. Whatever they can. We don't require much. Like I said, just tell us we are there. We will organize our own thing. Just provide medals for us. If you don't want to provide, we will provide medals for ourselves. Just tell us that we are there, and everything will be okay with us.
So, Anthony says this is Nigeria where education is going down, and I guess that's why Scrabble was removed. I know Senator Fabio will not be happy. So I know there's some sponsors of Scrabble, big followers of Scrabble. Have you guys reached out to them? Are they
we have attempted to reach out, but you know how slow things are in Nigeria. But we are we are working all angles, and we are hoping that something positive comes out soon.
Okay, that's it. Sadly, that's where the curtain falls. Wellington, I must say thank you so much for coming around. Always,
thank you very much for having me.
And maybe you'll get some good news. Hopefully you will. And of course to
we
you,
hope so.
Wherever you are in the world watching Sports Tonight on Channels Television, thank you so much for your time. Remember to keep talking to us on Twitter, Channels_Sports, Facebook, Channels Life Sports. That's the show for the team. I'm Austin Okonakman. Sports is so much fun. So in everything you do, remember to keep talking sports. Bye for now.